Smurfy greetings, everyone. It is I, Hellgear, and it's time again for some Smurfs Epic Run Q&A. Big thanks to everyone who has been enjoying this series so far, and I hope you will continue to like, sub, and bell. And with that being said, there are a few things I have to talk about before getting into some of these questions. First and foremost, just as a cautionary reminder, the Smurf Shop. I have to make a note here in the Smurf Shop. Why, of course? For a particular reason. For a good while now, after the Smurfy 2-day sale, the Smurf Shop has been going into a wonderful little thing known as sale mode, which makes sense because Christmas is around the corner. And you can get this wonderful little Smurfmas t-shirt right here. It also comes in other forms. And of course, 35% off right now. So I want to also make this clear. Those of you who decide to do the wonderful thing and get your orders in from the Smurf Shop before the 13th, they'll be under your tree for your Christmas time. So, Merry Smurfmas. And now, back to the actual game itself. All right, then. For quite some time, I've been doing the stadium, as you know. Because tapping on the regular event mode has been almost fruit. Wow. Let me get these then. That's going to change over in 3 minutes. But I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Luis Alfaro 2254, who gave me the idea of tap on the rocket ship. And in tapping on the rocket ship, I'm able to access the previous 3 chapters when the chapter section was inaccessible. So, Luis Alfaro, thank you very much for the save. Greatly appreciated. And I'm sure everybody is happy to know that you are the sole person who helped me save doing runs here. So, now that I found out, with thanks to Luis Alfaro 2254, access to playing more stages, we can do some more stages, more hard mode, and of course, I have to do the last 10 stages on the map. So, there's that one. Now, let me clear this one up because this is the first question. And it revolves around the limited challenge here. Let me explain it like this. Folks have asked me, when am I going to buy Referee Papa Smurf for the wonderful, wonderful price of 20,000 coins? Let me show you guys something. All right? This is the potion thing. I have officially bought all the potions. Okay? Well, what does this have to do with Referee Papa Smurf, you might ask? Well, actually, it has a very important thing to do with Referee Papa Smurf. And that goes back to the limited challenge. All right? It works like this. I pretty much have everything in this game right now that I can obtain. The other stuff that I can buy is with the purchase of gems. In fact, this metal right here is the last thing I can purchase in this shop, in the artifact shop, and it's for gems. Essentially, Everything I can purchase in these, with the exception of this ring, is by coins. The rest are by gems. I have all of the companions and all of the Smurfs. This goes back to the limited challenge. This limited challenge has an interesting one that comes up where, for the task, you're supposed to spend X thousand number of coins. And I can only do that in a couple of ways. One, to buy that ring, and the other to buy Referee Papa Smurf. Now, when that limited time challenge thing comes up where I have to spend X amount of coins, then and only then will I be buying Papa Smurf in his referee attire. Because let's be frank, folks, other than purchasing things, the only thing I have left to spend my coins on is the Smurfs machine. And that goes into the next question. When are we going to see you bust out with the Smurfs machine? That's on the docket. And you're probably wondering why. As you can see, I'm on the 18th rank. I didn't get the companion for rank 15, unfortunately, because the game decided to eat shit and crash. So, I still have to get Joker Smurf and Robin Hood Smurf from this, which means I will probably have to buy them after obtaining them from these here ranks. And I'm going to be a very sad boy if I get to these guys and then the game decides to crash. So I'm unable to get these. If you guys know what the companion you got from rank 15 is, let me know in the comment section below. As you can see, I'm tapping on the story section. I can't do it. So I have to access the story chapters through the rocket ship. Next question. The wheel. I managed to obtain Grandpa Smurf through the wheel. The last Smurf to get through the wheel is Pharaoh Papa Smurf. And folks are wondering, am I going to do some wheel action? The answer is this. I spin the wheel every now and again. Me doing the Wheel of Chance for 30 something minutes is not content that's like watchable. That's boring content. I would rather make runs for you. So I spin this wheel off and on. And when you get to 75, like I did with Grandpa Smurf, it just gives you the Smurf and all of the rewards you've accrued. Next question. What's the deal with the leaves? The leaves work with leveling up the Smurfs. As you can see, every Smurf has a particular leaf behind it. And when you level up said Smurf, you use the leaves to level them up. And the higher they're leveled up, the more bonuses they give you. The maximum level for Smurfs, as I've found out, is 30. And because people have asked me who the highest leveled Smurf in my arsenal is, obviously it's the most busted ass Smurf in this entire game, Smurf Willow. She's level 18. And while on the topic of this matter, the next question. Why are Smurf Storm and Smurf Blossom wearing the wrong colored clothing? Let me sip my bottle of water before I answer this question for you guys. It's good to know that you, as a person who's asking why Blossom and Stormy are wearing the wrong colored clothing, because that just shows me that you watch the Smurfs cartoon on Nickelodeon. And if you hadn't been paying attention, this past Friday they aired the Christmas episode for the cartoon, officially ending all of the aired episodes for season 2. Remember, next year, season 3 is supposed to start, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. Now, here's the thing about that. As I mentioned when I was the first to tell you about all of the Smurf girls, and I still have that video because, again, you learned about the introduction of the Smurf girls from the Lost Village from yours truly, me. You're welcome. This is their default outfit. Okay? What we're going to find out, and I have to punch in on season 3 here, is that there are 2 villages now. Okay? There's the main Smurfs village where Smurfette and the gang that you're used to seeing. That's where they are. The only difference now is there's the 100 Smurfs there have varied now. You know? Especially since Smurf Meteorite is in this village now. And she's originally from Smurfy Grove, which is the village that Smurf Willow leads. Okay? Now, as we learn from Smurfs the Lost Village, there are 2 villages now. There's Smurfs Village, which is Smurfette and the boys. And if you've been paying attention to the Nickelodeon cartoon, Smurfette, Smurf Meteorite, and the boys. And then there's Smurfy Grove, which is Willow and the girls. As is stated, the girls' village literally doubles the population of Smurfs from Smurfs Village. Okay? And in season 3, we're actually going to go into how Smurfy Grove looks in the cartoon. If you've been paying attention to the graphic novels of the Smurfs Village Behind the Wall, you know in volume 3, because that's where we are in English, Smurfy Grove burned to the ground. I don't need to spoiler alert this. This has been out for like 2 years. You didn't read this from paper cuts, I don't blame you. They're slacking on dropping more of these Village Behind the Wall graphic novels anyway. Especially because in France, they've already finished volume 6, and the writer of the graphic novels is currently working on volume 7. Well, where's volume 4? Volume 4 is not released in English. It is only available on Amazon Kindle Fire, but it's available in Dutch. Now, back to the clothing. The girls' village wears sand-colored attire. That's what color their default clothing is. Smurf hats, Smurf dresses, Smurf shoes outside of Willow. They wear sand-colored clothing. Not yellow, it's default sand-colored clothing. The difference between outfits is that they've made minor color changes. Okay? In Storm's case, they gave her a regular Smurf hat, the one that doesn't have the side flaps anymore. And instead of the sand-colored dress, she wears a green one. Smurf Willow has a different flower in her hat. And that's something a lot of people probably didn't notice, that she has a different flower in her hat. And just like Smurf Lily, the dress has gone through a slight change. You know, she's wearing a sand colored dress here. I think it's yellow in color in the new cartoon, or something like that. Like Smurf Lily originally wears the sand colored clothing and stuff, right? Well, they changed it to that her dress isn't the sand colored dress anymore, but it's like an orange color, and she wears white slippers. Speaking of outfits, Smurf Blossom doesn't wear sand colored slippers anymore. She wears white slippers now. And instead of her sand colored dress, she wears a pink colored dress. These color changes were made for the cartoon, but in the graphic novels, they still wear the textbook sand colored clothing of their village. The same happened with Smurf Begonia. And this is a funny thing. Smurf Begonia was supposed to debut in The Village Behind the Wall Volume 4. That's where she began. However, the Smurf cartoon gave us her debut early in the episode Crashing Gargamel's Party. Her voice actress even changed too, and she wears a yellow dress. This mysterious Smurf is actually Smurf Lily, just in case anybody is wondering. Next question. Do you have all of the Smurfs in the game? The answer is no. I do not. There are a couple of other Smurfs that I just did not get the luxury of obtaining in this game simply because of the fact that Ubisoft and Ubisoft France and the Smurfs Epic Run development team stopped making content for this game many, many summers ago. People are asking me why isn't there more to this? I made a video explaining this earlier on in the series. This is the playlist for the second season of Smurfs Epic Run. And I want to bring this up because this is around the time, as you can see, the icon here is a regular Smurf in the sand colored clothing. It was at this time where they introduced the Lost Village to the game. Originally, the Lost Village was a special chapter, but after updates, they made it into a portal world. So, scrolling through this second season of the game, I talked about a lot of stuff in this season. This was a great season. This really was a great season. And a lot of people are asking me about this, but man, I covered a lot in this game. A showcase with Smurf Blossom C wearing the textbook sand colored clothing. Here it is, right here. Smurfs Epic Run discussion, end of an epic. This is the video that you should watch that explains everything about why the game is no longer available in the app stores. Okay, this video right here, end of an epic, explains it all. And incidentally, my season playlist after they stopped it, Smurfs Epic Run After Exodus. Why did I call it After Exodus? Because this literally is me playing the game after the stoppage from the end of the Epic Smurfs discussion. That's where this season comes from, what this season's about. And that leads me to this season, the revived season. I know this sounds like me trying to press you to watch all my other videos. Please do that. But I'm doing this simply to answer the question properly, giving you the rundown of what's been going on here when it comes to this series. Yes, I've gone through 4 seasons of this game. Yes, there are a lot of episodes of Smurfs Epic Run. And to all of you who have been there since the very first episode of the very first season, I thank you wholeheartedly because this has been one hell of a ride. Here I am tapping on the tournament section and showing you that access is gone. And it's fine that access is gone. I'm not mad about that. This goes into the next question. Well, how do I play this game? You're only able to play this game if you've played it before. And this is how the revive season came to pass. You know, I switched tablets, okay? And one of the crazy things is Smurfs Epic Run was one of the games in my library in the Android show. So, Android shop. Excuse me, I gotta take the emphasis off of this here. And it was from the last time I saved the game, when the game was going, that it had that save file. And since it was already in the library of my Android shop, I was able to re-download the game in light of the fact that it's no longer available in the stores. So if you've played Smurfs Epic Run before and you managed to drop a cloud save on it, and you have it in your library, access your app's library, and it should be there for you to re-download and resume play. You won't be able to do all of the events and stuff, but you'll be able to play this game. Why Ubisoft decided to, after like 2 years, kick this game to the curb is the dumbest thing that they have ever done. And frankly, it's like this needs to come back or they need to make a sequel to this. Which leads me to the next question. If this could be brought back, who would you want to bring it back? Honestly, Microids. Microids is already busted out with many Smurfs games, and they've been bringing back all kinds of crazy stuff. They brought back the House of the Dead, Operation Wolf, Marsupilami, and Inspector Gadget. They even brought back Tintin. Oh, Jesus. That's the Tintin. I remember watching The Adventures of Tintin at the theaters. Next question. What's the last Smurf you plan on getting? The last Smurf I plan on getting is probably going to be either Pharaoh Papa Smurf or Robin Hood Smurf. Next question. Did you make any in-app purchases in this game while it was active? Yes, I did, actually. In fact, the last in-app purchase I made before everything just stopped, I'm just going to show you who it was. Because I bought one of the $50 Smurfs, actually. Like, let's see. Who all was it in-app purchase? None of you were in-app purchases. Yeah, Astro Smurf. Astro Smurf was the first in-app purchase. He was the starter pack that came with pedal and some other stuff. I believe the Black Smurf was an in-app purchase. Weather Smurf was an in-app purchase. Yeah, Weather Smurf was I forget how much Weather Smurf was. Smurf Storm was an in-app purchase actually. She was $20 and it was money well spent. Not even gonna lie. I happily paid $20 for Stormy. That was great. I believe which Smurfette was an in-app purchase. Here we are, Cowboy Smurf. This was the last in-app purchase I made. He was one of the $50 Smurfs. There are a lot of $50 Smurfs in this game. Like Princess Smurfette actually was an in-app purchase, I think. I think she was $20. It was Princess Smurfette, Relay Runner Smurfette was another one. Karate Smurf was $50, but I didn't buy him. But Cowboy Smurf was the last in-app purchase I ever made in the game. The Double Coin Scepter was a $5 purchase, actually. And I'm glad I bought this. I think I covered this episode where I first bought this thing. And there was one other artifact that you could buy, and that was the Infinite Energy artifact. But that thing was $100. And even though I did not buy that, part of me wishes to this very day that I had. Otherwise, because if I had, I would have had infinite energy at the cost of $100. These in-app purchases are all that are left that I did not buy. And frankly, this stuff was nuts. I just was not buying this. Like, usually when I get in-app purchases, and this is the next question. When you make in-app purchases for these games, do you have like a spending cap on these? Actually, for Smurfs Epic Run, I did. Like, when Smurfs Epic Run was active, I didn't want to buy anything that cost more than $20. Like the $12 stuff, the $10 stuff, I would buy that. That was no problem. But like the $50 stuff, like Spring Smurfette, I did not want to buy her. There was too many Smurfettes in this game anyway. But when the game was getting ready to close, I decided I would just buy the $50 Cowboy Smurf. That was the only $50 purchase I made. Final question. Looking back now at how far this game has come, do you regret ever playing this? And the answer is no. I enjoyed playing this game. At its time, it was the second best Smurfs game in the Android shops, outrun by Smurfs Bubble Story, and now currently outrun because the top game is Smurfs Village, as it should be. I never got to play the Smurfs & Co., which was the previous Ubisoft-based Smurfs game, because just like this one, after a couple of years, they removed it from the app stores. But here's the thing. This is a T-rated game. I know a lot of people look at the Smurf content and they see all the E's and stuff on that, but Smurfs Epic Run is a T for teen rated game. And that makes it an unorthodox and the black sheep of the family. Because you don't expect Smurf games to have a T rating on them. You don't. And the fact that you have a T-rated game means you can get away with doing and saying certain things. That concludes this episode of Smurfs Epic Run Q&A. Thank you guys so much for your questions. I will be always looking at the comments for other questions that some of you and all of the rest of you might have. But for now, I take my goose from the oven because I'm done. Bye bye, everybody.